Let's can potatoes. There seem to be a lot of people looking for a shortcut when it comes to canning potatoes, and I have tried a couple of different ways of doing it, but I get the best end result when I follow the guidelines that are given by the National Center for Home Food Preservation. My canner holds 7 quart-sized jars, and since each jar will hold a little over a pound of potatoes, I have about 9 pounds of potatoes here that I'm cleaning. I'm going to dice these potatoes into cubes, roughly an inch, probably not quite that big. There is also a lot of controversy over which potato is the best for canning. I use whatever potatoes are on sale. And I'm just cutting them up into some good cool water to keep them from discoloring while I prepare everything else. Now that I have my potatoes ready to go, I have some clean water that I'm going to can with. I have boiling water and a colander in here that I'm going to use to blanch the potatoes first, and I have my jars heating up in my canner. I decided to blanch my potatoes just a few at a time instead of trying to blanch that whole 10 pounds of potatoes at once. And I'm using my 4 jars canning funnel again today. I love this thing. It has the measurements notched out on the side of the funnel, so as long as it's facing away from you when you're filling your jars, you can easily see your measurements that you're filling your headspace to. For potatoes, you want to leave a 1-inch headspace, and so I just fill the jars with the blanched potatoes, added a teaspoon of salt, and then filling the jars with clean water, not the water that I've cooked the potatoes in. That's all because of starch. If you use the water that you cook the potatoes in, you end up with just a starchy, kind of sloppy mess in the bottom of your jars. But if you use clean water, the potatoes really hold together well, and it's a much less starchy end product. You put the potatoes in, fill with water, debubble, adjust your headspace if you need to, because sometimes when you release air bubbles, the liquid level in your jar will decrease. Once all of my jars are filled, I am going to add these to my hot canner, and then once I get the lid on the canner, I will bring that up to heat and let it vent a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes. And then I will add the weight. For my altitude, which is sea level, I am using a 10-pound weight. Once that comes up to pressure and starts jiggling, I just adjust my heat so that my weight is only jiggling 1 or 2 times per minute, and it has to process for 40 minutes. Once it's finished processing, I will turn the heat off and let it completely come down from pressure on its own, and then remove the weight and wait another 2 minutes before I remove the lid. I find that having canned potatoes on my pantry shelf is a huge convenience.